Good morning, everybody. I'm Shannon Poe with AMRA, American Mining Rights Association, and right behind me here in the distance, which you can't really see because of the oak trees, is Yosemite, and beautiful view. It's mid-December here in 2013. It was 30-some degrees and this morning, and actually it's about 10:30 right now, and it's warmed up so much we're probably going to end up in t-shirts. So anyway, a little bit about AMRA, and I got to ask you guys, and we do this in almost every video, are you getting tired yet of the government telling you what you can and can't do? Are you getting tired of them regulating every single aspect of your life? Are you getting tired of being told that you can't dredge, or you can't run a water pump to run your high banker or power sluice? If you're getting tired of these things like we are, then join us. Go to AmericanMiningRights.com. Check us out. You make the decision on whether or not you think that we're real, whether we're sincere and honest people that are fighting for your rights. That's what we do every single day of the week. That's what we do, is fight for your rights. So we encourage you to check us out on AmericanMiningRights.com. And go check us out on Facebook. We're under American Mining Rights. We post there daily, and we throw a lot of these videos like this we're shooting today up for you guys to enjoy and learn from. So let me give you the lowdown on what we're doing today. I'm here with my real good friend Eden, and we're in the South Mother Lode, real close to our claims. As a matter of fact, we've got some of our claims in the distance right behind us. But what we've got here is a real good creek, and this creek was very, very well known for good gold, big gold, and they still get a lot of gold out of this creek. And this flows down into the valley, and actually it flows down into to Lake McClure. But we've mined this, and we've actually shot a couple of videos in here breaking apart bedrock, and we got some real nice chunky stuff. And that stuff that we were getting there, when you look at it through a loop, was real rough. So we know that there's good gold in here, and we've actually, Eden's family has found some pretty nice sized nuggets. Because it's so rough, we think that the feeder, or the source of that gold, is probably one of these little feeder drainages that go down there. So we've got Spike, the 6-wheeler today, and we're going to take that down there and try to bust through some of this manzanita, and we're going to go out to these to some of these drainages with our metal detector. And we're going to sample. We're obviously going to metal detect, but we're also going to sample some of those drainages, because when you get down below where those feeders hit the main creek, we could see evidence in there from the 1850s of miners doing a little bit of work in there. So they must have been getting some of the gold out of there. And guys, these little feeder creeks, they're only about this wide. They're really small drainages. So there's quartz veins up the yin-yang down in the bottom of this creek bed, and they're all going across. So as time progresses, erosion and the freezing, like we've got snow on the ground now, it'll break those cracks open, and it'll expose those quartz veins and those gold veins, and it washes more gold down into the creek. So we're going to actively go out and see if we can't find the sources today, and this should be a pretty fun video. Fortunately, we've got a beautiful day, although we wish it was raining. So anyway, without further ado, we'll throw the gear in Spike, and we'll head down there, and we'll show you what we're going to do. This is an example here, folks. This is one of the little feeder creeks right here, and we're only a couple of 100 yards from the main creek. And this is an area that we know right down below us here. The old-time miners work this, and believe it or not, we're almost to the top of the mountain here. I mean, I'll bet we're within 100 feet in elevation from the top. But this is the type of feeder that we're looking at right here. Well, as you guys can see, the creek's right down below us. Oh, maybe less than 70 feet. And we're just up there. Eden was poking around in these white oaks here, and he found this. And this is an old, it's an old stove. And we found the actual chimney to it and some remnants here, metal detecting in here. There's so much trash right in this one little spot. So this was obviously a campsite for them way back in the day. But what we're finding here is round nails and not square nails. So I don't think that the age of this stuff is really old. But look at this old girl. This thing is really, really cool. And it's heavy, heavy iron. What's interesting is something we'll have to do a little research on the internet is what's it called, a Shep 12 or something. So we'll have to find out what the heck a Shep 12 stove is. But here's part of their old coffee pot. So we're going to keep poking around here, and then we're going to try to swing up over the hill. And here's where all of these feeders drop down into this creek. So we're going to head up this way, and we'll take our metal detector and see if we can't find some more really cool stuff. But I love finding old stuff like this. This is just really cool. And check out that can. Somebody improvised a little spout on her. I think this is probably an old Coleman can or something. But anyway, pretty cool stuff. Let's go check this other stuff out. Well, here's what's going on. We've probably come, oh, maybe a third of a mile. We were up on top, and this is one of the major feeders that kind of washes down and it hits that main creek, which is over the hill here. This is all choked out and full of poison oak, which is not one of my favorites, but like idiots, we went and forgot. We have a bunch of sandbags that we typically throw in our backpack that we use as sample bags, and I ended up forgetting those at the six-wheeler. So we're going to try to keep busting through this. This is really the first part of the outcropping where it really starts to pick up some speed. Up on top there, we identified a pretty flat area and actually dug down, and we found kind of a sandstone layer of bedrock, but it was so decomposed that rocks were actually working its way through there. So I wish we could sample that, but we'll have to come back and do that another day. I think once we get down towards the main creek here, we've got a couple of beef jerky bags, which is something that we always carry. And I think we'll take a few samples of those out of this drainage, and then we'll go down, and we know that there's some pools of water in the main creek. So, but one thing I want to say about this drainage, this thing's going to swing around and it's going to feed back into the main creek. And we did find, not necessarily stacked rock, but we found thrown rock. And stacked rock is pretty much indicative of the Chinese. The Chinese were very meticulous in the way that they worked this stuff. And they would actually stack the rock so they could pretty much tell, you know, who worked the area, where they worked it, and all that kind of stuff. You know, the Americans and French and those guys, the Belgians that were in here, they just threw the rocks out of the creek like we typically do. So we might work our way down there a little bit further where we saw that and start sampling down there. So anyway, we'll try to get down there if I can get through this poison oak. Well, what we did is that feeder that we just filmed at comes in right here, and we could see that there was some thrown rock out of that. It only goes up about 100 feet and then they stop for some reason, so it probably didn't hold a lot of gold. This is the main creek, and this is down at the lower end of the area that we can actually work. So we do know that there's some thrown rock on the side of this creek. We do know that there's exceptionally good gold in this area, but I kind of wanted to focus on this spot for a reason. And I'll explain why. Here's the main creek, and it kind of comes around like this, and it straightens out through here, which means that it's going to push the water right about to where I am. The feeder creek comes in here not more than 20 feet above us. So it hits this stuff right in here, which is all bedrock, and it's all jumbled. And it just creates a lot of turbulence. And as these two meet, it'll also create turbulence. And what you're looking for is in an area where the gold, which is 16 times heavier than water, is going to drop. This is a really likely spot. And not only that, is we've got this piece of rock right here that hopefully Eden can pick up on this. This is a big chunk of bedrock, and I was kicking on it and it moves. So we're going to take the pry bar and we're going to bust this rock out, and we're going to sample this section right here. We'll probably be able to find a pool of water up above, so we'll fill our beef jerky bags with some of this material, and then we'll go up above and pan that and see what we get. So, but you know, this is typical of what you need to look for and how you go out and you prospect these areas and claims, even our claims, is you got to find where it creates turbulence or where the water slows down, where there's a big long flat area. Punch that down to bedrock and then sample that. So anyway, I like this spot. We're going to dig here and see what we get. So we'll show you when we're panning up above. See this material here that's got these roots in it is really good stuff. And all this is, surprisingly, it's all cracked up. You can see these pieces are just breaking off. All this is really good material. This is the stuff that we're going to take back up there. But even down underneath this rock, which all this stuff comes out, you'll see on the underside of this, we'll get down in the bottom here, there's material. I mean, there's real good material in the bottom of that. And it's surprising that if you take a crack that's, let me clean my fingers, that's even that wide, that gold will get so much pressure and it weighs so much that it'll wedge itself down underneath there, and it'll sit right on the top of the bedrock when it gets firm. So that's what we're after. This is the good stuff. This is what we'll throw in our bag, and we'll go up there and pan it. So we'll give it a shot. Well, there's a few little pieces in here, but not enough to make you rich. But it just goes to show that there's definitely some gold down at the bottom in those bedrock trenches. My hands are so darn cold I can barely stand it. But, you know, we tried those feeders, and I just don't know. Part of the problem is, guys, is we got snow on the ground, and it makes it kind of difficult to see the terrain. So, but this is, keep in mind that this is really what you got to do, is you just got to get out there and you got to bust your butt and just sample and test spots, and where you find that turbulence. Like right now we're actually panning in a pool that's right below a series of waterfalls. This isn't a great spot. Right behind me is a fantastic spot, and I'll show you why. Well, Eden will pan up here and show you all the waterfalls, and where this comes busting down through here, it hits the bottom down here and it flattens out. And you can see how this raises up, clear up in here, and all of this is just gravel deposits. So when we get some water in this creek, we're going to be coming down here, and we'll work this spot real hard. But we'll have him pan up there, and we'll show you why we picked this spot. So I hope that kind of enlightens you guys a little bit on what we look for. And as much as we wish we'd get more gold today, we didn't. But we're going to keep shooting videos like this and keep showing you how we go out and we make our money and our living mining our claims and mining the creeks around here. So remember, check us out on AmericanMiningRights.com, and go check us out on Facebook. We've got some things we're working on right now. We'd love to have you guys read about and follow us. It has to do with the EPA, the California Water Board. We're dealing with the EPA over in Idaho, and it's stunning to us, folks, the kind of things that our government's doing to us. And we have to unite against this stuff or we're going to lose it. So I'm Shannon Poe. I'm the president of AMRA, and we appreciate you guys' support. We'll catch you next time.